In the previous East-West Rail video, I spoke about the section from Bicester to Bletchley and the planned service from Oxford to Milton Keynes that will be introduced from next year. In today's video, I'll explain what is proposed for the existing Marston Vale Line between Bletchley and Bedford. Although the route is only relatively short at just over 27 kilometres or 16 miles long, the upgrade of this route will be challenging. The main reason for this is that there are 31 existing level crossings, which either need to be closed, upgraded to improve safety, or replaced with new bridges. Even then, the line will not quite be up to the same standard as the rest of East-West Rail, which will have a permissible speed of 100 mph. I believe the line speed on the Marston Vale Line section will however be raised to around 70 or 80 mph once the line has been fully upgraded, although I'm not sure if this has yet been confirmed. The Marston Vale Line will in fact be upgraded in two phases, with the so-called £240 million accelerator fund having been confirmed during the autumn budget. The Conservatives had promised to provide this funding prior to the election, but it wasn't clear following the election which spending promises Labour would agree to deliver. The Accelerator Fund will enable Network Rail to bring forward some of the benefits of EWR, with a new service planned from 2030 between Oxford and Bedford, which will run alongside the existing all-station stopping service currently provided by London North Western Railway. The full details of the interventions required to operate this additional service are not yet known, although permission for some of the Marston Vale upgrades were contained within the original Transport and Works Act order for the Bicester to Bedford section, which was granted in 2020. From what I could find within the original TWAO documents, permissions were granted to remove level crossings on Manor Road in Kempston Hardwick and Marston Road to the east of Lidlington. This includes permission to build new road over rail bridges. There is also reference to permission being sought to extend the platforms at Woburn Sands and Ridgemont stations. This could potentially mean those stations may be the calling point for the EWR service on the section between Bletchley and Bedford, although I'm unable to confirm this at this stage. The TWAO application lists many smaller interventions, such as building new footbridges and permission to close or alter level crossings. With permission already granted and the funding committed to means that work can get underway, with early survey and enabling works set to begin in early 2025. 5 years does seem like a long time to complete the upgrade, but I have been told the scale of the work required should not be underestimated. The £240 million Accelerator Fund will bring forward some of the benefits of EWR before further upgrades are undertaken, which will hopefully coincide with the opening of the section between Bedford and Cambridge. This will be the subject of my next video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that one. Further upgrades on the Marston Vale Line are planned, but are subject to a Development Consent Order, or DCO. The application for the DCO will include further works on the line, as well as on other existing sections of railway, as well as the building of a new route between Bedford and Cambridge. The DCO will have to be granted before further works can be carried out, which will provide capacity to operate up to 3 trains per hour between Bletchley and Stewartby. This is where things get a little bit complicated, as EWR Co., the company responsible for delivering the railway, have put forward 2 options for the Marston Vale Line. The first option, referred to as the existing station option, would retain the existing stations, which would see some modest safety and accessibility upgrades. Under this proposal, the existing hourly all-station stopping service would remain, and be supplemented by a 2 trains per hour service from Oxford to Cambridge, calling only at Woburn Sands, Ridgemont, Lidlington, Stewartby and Bedford St John's. The second option would see the 9 existing stations consolidated into just 4 new modern and accessible stations, which would be relocated to best serve communities between Bletchley and Bedford. The new stations could replace Woburn Sands, Ridgemont, Lidlington and Stewartby, with all of the others, apart from Bedford St John's, closing. Moving the stations would provide more room on which to build larger stations, with drop-off facilities and additional car parking, which would provide opportunities to improve onward travel. The constrained sites around most of the existing stations means there is little room to provide things like car parking or drop-off facilities. On first inspection, the closure of stations seems like it would be a backward step, but EWR points out that some stations on the route see less than 20 passengers per day. The consolidation option would also see 3 trains per hour calling at all of the new stations, which would provide better connectivity as a whole. Under both options, the line through Fenny Stratford would be doubled to provide the necessary capacity. However, the existing station option would also require the construction of a second platform at Fenny Stratford station. Both options would also require the doubling of the track approaching Bedford, with proposals to move Bedford St John's station to the west, closer to the hospital, with a new 2-platform station constructed. The line would run on a straighter alignment through what is currently a car park. This will provide space for the new station and allow for the raising of the line speed from 15 miles per hour currently to 40 miles per hour. The details for both options are quite extensive, so I would encourage any interested parties to read the full consultation document if you haven't already, a link to which will be in the description below. Both the existing and consolidation options also propose building an additional 3rd platform at Stewartby. This would be used to provide either 1 or 2 additional services per hour between Bedford and Cambridge. Reversing the trains at Stewartby would mean that EWR would only have to construct 2 additional platforms at Bedford, as opposed to the 3 platforms previously put forward. Stewartby Station would also be the best station to reach the proposed Universal Studios development. The theme park is mentioned within the consultation document, although at this time EWR are not directly looking to provide provision for the development. But I'm sure if the development is given the go-ahead, that more thought will be put into how best to serve the theme park/resort. As mentioned in the previous video, EWR are also looking to electrify the entire route. This means that the plan is to electrify the Marston Vale Line. In order to power the overhead lines will require a connection to the grid, and EWR are proposing to build a new substation close to Millbrook Power Station, which is currently under construction. The decision to explore the use of this continuous electrification means that fewer existing road over rail bridges will have to be adjusted, which will reduce disruption and will help to bring down the cost of electrification. As I said, the MVL section within the consultation document is quite extensive, so I would encourage people to take a look at that, as it's not possible to cover all the details within an 8-minute video. The following EWR video will look at the section from Bedford to Cambridge, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that video.